Former U.S. Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords has made an emotional plea to Congress to take action on gun control. Giffords was seriously injured in a 2011 shooting. The White House is seeking to curb gun violence by banning military-style assault weapons and making sure there are better background checks on prospective gun buyers.
The former U.S. Congresswoman for Arizona, who narrowly survived a gunshot wound to the head, has appeared before a Senate committee to call for urgent action on gun violence. Gabrielle Giffords told the hearing that too many children were dying and that it was time for politicians to be bold about the use of guns.
Giffords was shot by a lone gunman in Tucson, Arizona in January 2011. Though she survived, she's left with mobility and speech problems. Responding to outrage following the latest mass shooting, President Barack Obama has asked Congress to pass the largest package of gun restrictions in decades. But America's powerful pro-gun lobby thinks the proposals won't work.
Speaking is difficult. But I need to say something important. Violence is a big problem. Too many children are dying. Too many children. We must do something. Be bold. Be courageous. Americans are counting on you.
In Congress, Giffords was an advocate for gun rights and still owns a gun. So does her husband, Captain Mark Kelly, a star witness.
I am as a strong supporter of the Second Amendment as anybody on this panel. My wife would not be sitting in this seat. She would not have been sitting here today if we had stronger background checks.
At the other end of the table, the other star witness with a very different perspective.
Law-abiding gun owners will not accept blame for the acts of violent or deranged criminals.
Wayne LaPierre of the NRA said strengthening background checks won't stop criminals.
None of it makes any sense in the real world.
Mr. LaPierre, that's the point. The criminals won't go to purchase the guns because there'll be a background check. We'll stop them from the original purchase. You missed that point completely.
Senator,
and I think it's basic.
Senator, I think you missed it.
Let there be order.
The line to get into this first hearing on guns since Newtown was huge, snaking down this long hallway and down the stairs. Citizens on both sides of the issue.
While the hearing went on, news of another shooting. A number of people wounded, attacked by a gunman in their office block in Phoenix, Arizona. Senators are considering how to reduce such violence. More gun control is opposed by the National Rifle Association and its unapologetic leader, Wayne LaPierre.
This discussion, I sit here and listen to it, and my reaction is how little it has to do with making the country and our kids safe, and how much it has to do with this decade-long or two-decade-long gun ban agenda that we don't enforce the laws even when they're on the books.
That was roundly rejected later by another witness, Baltimore Police Chief Jim Johnson.
What do you think of Mr. LaPierre's claim that this is really, the conversation he said in there was really just about a campaign to take away America's weapons?
Well, it's completely false and completely misleading. Again, no police organization, no elected official I've talked to views this as any campaign to take away our rights to own firearms.
Public opinion seems to have shifted a little in favour of gun control in the wake of the Newtown massacre. Gabby Giffords and Mark Kelly know, though, that on Capitol Hill their opponents remain unmoved, even by the arguments of someone who was once one of their own.